fundamental change. There are other blockchains that are POS already. There are other blockchains that are staking, deflationary, etc.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Crypto. We are joined by CZ, the founder of Binance. He will shed some light on the post-ETH merge updates and crypto regulations, so make sure to stick around till the end. But before we get started, let's see where we are with the Fear and Greed Index for today. As of recording this video, the FNG index is at 21, down from yesterday's 27. Currently, Bitcoin is trading for 18,400, whereas Ethereum is trading for 1,298 respectively.
I think it's very important, but I don't think it's a fundamental change. There are other blockchains that are POS already. There are other blockchains that are staking, deflationary, etc. So I think all of this is important, but it's not like earth moving. But it's definitely progress in the right. It's definitely progress in the right direction. I think what will be earth moving is when the fees drop, when the sharding kicks in, when they can go live with sharding. That's a much harder problem to solve. So I'm really looking forward for them to solve that.
With ETH now having been merged, it allows users to earn yield by staking their Ethereum for a fixed period of time. Since it is now utilizing a proof-of-stake model, Ethereum has also become deflationary in nature. However, CZ says it's not as big of a deal as people think because several blockchains and projects are already using the same model. What will be a deal maker is the reduction of gas fees. If that problem is solved, then it will be a huge milestone for the crypto space.
I think proof of work is fine. I think proof of work, I think this whole Bitcoin is not energy efficient, is using too much energy. It's just complete misinformation and misconceptions. It's just because we can measure the amount of energy that Bitcoin uses. But if you try to measure the amount of energy banks use, out of the buildings, the downtowns, to manage $1 trillion asset, there's no other more efficient way. The banks spend way more energy on electricity alone. And then they have all these buildings, all these trucks moving like gold, all the security guards, they hire all these people. The expense they used to manage those assets are much higher than Bitcoin.
CZ says Bitcoin has been widely misunderstood for consuming too much energy, whereas in reality there are other assets that consume far more power than Bitcoin. This whole narrative is just to tarnish the image of the biggest cryptocurrency by market cap in the world, which is the goal of everyone against Bitcoin.
Based on the situation you described, I wouldn't go for the most promising. I would actually go chase the hardest problem, which today I think is the wallet. I think that's the main blocker for mass adoption, for DeFi adoption. So today, DeFi protocols are fine. They're very easy to use. You connect your wallet for the people who know how to use their wallet. Then you just trade. It's order book. It's very simple. No KYC, no AML. It's very simple. But today, most people cannot store their private keys securely. The wallets require them to be technical. Your computer cannot get a virus. If your computer gets a virus, there's all kinds of problems that will happen. You will lose your money. If you lose your computer, you have to have a backup. And now that backup needs to be encrypted. Most people don't know how to do that properly. And that encrypted backup, it's okay if you lose your computer, but what if eventually we die? What if you're not around? How do you give that to your kids? How do you make sure that your kids don't get that before you die? That problem is not solved. So for these reasons, most people today still prefer using an email, a password, and call customer support. They still want to use a centralized exchange. If I have no financial pressure, I would want to solve the most difficult problem that's blocking adoption. That'd be the problem I would try to solve.
The biggest problem, according to CZ, is managing crypto wallets. Many people still don't know what private keys are, let alone make any attempt to take ownership of their digital assets. There are several flaws in the current system, like what happens if someone dies without giving wallet access to their heirs. If CZ was to start over, solving this problem would be his #1 priority.
Binance.com is the biggest bridge.
Okay.
Right. So because when you want to move from one asset from one blockchain to another, guess what? The easiest way is to deposit into Binance, trade to the other coin, withdraw on the other blockchain. So we process way more than like decentralized bridges because most people don't as you said, they're cumbersome to use, and then actually they also have security problems. So I think cross-chain is very important, but it's a difficult problem to solve. But I think over time that will get better. But from my perspective, I don't think that's the most urgent problem. Well, I don't think that's the highest impact problem to solve, because we still have centralized exchanges that facilitate that. I think the wallet problem is the bigger blocker for mass adoption for DeFi.
Cross-chain transfers is still something that is a hassle to do, as there is no direct way of doing it yet. The current methods are incredibly complex, and if a beginner tried to do it and made a small mistake, they could lose their money entirely. However, CZ thinks that the wallet problem is still the biggest factor that is limiting crypto adoption.
So what we learned is so we only pause trading when the blockchain stopped functioning.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no deposit withdrawals anyway. So but we learned is that there's a few different aspects. The best protection is to always provide a neutral market. So especially after we listed, when something happens, especially during critical periods where things are crashing, stuff like that, you absolutely should not pause trading. There's people who want to get out. There's people who want to get in. They are scalpers or whatever you call them that want to get into this high risk assets because they want to take that high volatility. They want to shoot for the upside, and they're okay with losing some money. So as a platform, once we list something, it's actually very hard to stop trading of it. Especially during volatility times, we need to make sure our systems are up, our trading is well functioning.
While Luna was collapsing to record lows, Binance deemed it as high-risk asset and halted its trading. According to CZ, they instantly started getting queries as to why they're not allowing traders to enter during these high volatility times, because some traders like this kind of an environment for scalping. To be honest, they do have a valid point, but CZ says it was to protect their customers.
The other side about protecting users is education. We need to make sure that the information disclosure is full. We added pop-up warnings about risks. This is a high-risk asset. Confirm you want to trade it. Confirm again. Confirm a third time, and take a quiz. And okay, fine. Now,
then it's your problem.
Yeah. So the education part is really important. The notice part is really important. After we do that, look, if a guy still wants to trade,
you gotta let him do what he wants to do.
And if we block the guys who, when it's crashing, the guys who want to sell, they couldn't sell. We're protecting one side, but we're always hurting the other. We shouldn't get involved in that. We're not traders. I don't even know what decision to make. I can't even. Nobody knows if it's going to fall further or going up. We can't make that decision for our users.
Currently, majority of crypto investors don't know much about the technical side of cryptocurrencies and trading, which is why CZ says it is the duty of exchanges like Binance to educate their users and provide them with a safe environment. Binance is currently offering full risk disclosures on high-risk assets and asks the user for confirmation multiple times before allowing them to put their capital into action.
So I think it's been a hard battle for sure. It takes a lot of work, and I've been flying around meeting with the regulators a lot. But I think we've seen the results. The results are also quite obvious. I'll give you a couple examples, right? So last year in July, Italy Consob issued a consumer warning with Binance name on, saying we're not licensed to operate in the country. Guess what? By May this year, so less than 10 months, they give us a registration. So that's Spain, same thing.
France also.
France never gave us a warning. So
just gave you the license.
So Italy gave us a warning 10 months earlier, and then 10 months later they give us a registration. Spain, same, warning with less than a year registration. So we were able to make that shift. France, no previous warning, but no licenses either. We're the first license in France. And today Binance is the most licensed international global exchange. We have France, Italy, Spain, Sweden, Dubai, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, and we also have 46 state licenses in the United States.
Regulation can't be avoided whether you like it or not. Binance was given multiple warnings in different countries, but then got licenses too. This shows that the entire crypto space is moving in a forward direction where governments and cryptocurrencies can coexist in harmony. Thank you for watching this video. Please drop a like and subscribe to our channel to keep watching educational content like this on a daily basis. See you guys in the next video.